are here, guys. Another episode 8, I believe.
Episode number 8.
Episode number 8. And today I am extremely excited.
We are extremely excited.
Not only because we have our girls here, but they're going to fill us with some great stuff about credit. And I am dying to just start by introducing them. We have Cindy and Myra, who are longtime friends, family. They're not friends, they're family. Right. And they are honoring us today by sitting on our little Lending an Ear podcast. So
that's right. They came all the way from Tampa to spend some time with us. And we really appreciate you guys coming and spending this time with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So I think how we're going to do this is probably have each introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about each as an individual, and then we can get into the nitty gritty.
Sure.
So who wants to start?
Go ahead, Cindy.
All right. Well, my name is Cindy Rodriguez. I am originally from New York, born and raised, been here in Tampa, in Florida, for about 15 years. And I come from very work-driven parents who taught me basically all my work ethic. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough to come down here and apply it to help the folks around Florida and expand my horizons and grow as a person down here. So I feel really excited about that. So,
yes. Well, thank you for coming.
And thank you for what you guys are doing, which I am also dying to hear all about it, because I know you guys are doing some awesome things. And even though I feel like Myra does not need an introduction, because this girl is like, I don't even know how many hats she wears. But I'm excited. I can go on and on saying she's not only beautiful, she's smart, a mom, all kinds of wonderful things. You are an inspiration, as well as Cindy. I know these girls for many years. And again, so blessed to have you. So tell us a little bit, introduce yourself.
Yes, well, thank you so very much for that. Mayra Ferreira, as she mentioned before, but first I do want to really tell you with all my heart that it's a blessing to be here. And I thank Cindy as well for being the one to bridge those connections, for us to have this opportunity and this platform. So we get to admire you from afar, me as well being from Tampa right now, but to see what you all are doing, just to see what you share, the energy is there. I believe energy is real, and it speaks louder than anything you could ever say. So for us to be a little part of something you have going on today, it's a huge privilege for me. So thank you so much.
The privilege is ours as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Just so I'm not a total stranger for anyone checking in on the podcast, I'm a New York native as well, originally from Long Island, New York. I'm actually a single mom of 4. I became a mom like super duper young. It forced me to step into responsibility, so I've worked since forever and a day, having the multiple jobs just to get by with the cost of living up north. Been to college a couple of times as well, wore different hats in all sorts of industries. But I've been living in Tampa since 2004, mainly working in healthcare. But as of the last few years, I'd say about 6 or so, I was introduced to entrepreneurship and network marketing and just expanding my horizons, as Cindy said, too. So for us to be here today, we get to share information on how credit is power. You know, they say cash is king.
That's right.
But an 800 credit score or higher can actually warrant you access to even $100,000 in a loan.
Okay.
So why use
I
your
pray for
money?
800
Right.
credit score clients every night of my life.
I bet.
Yeah, but you know, it's the whole new understanding of why would you use your own capital if you have access to using the bank's money.
That's
so,
right.
you know, we get to kind of take part a little bit in that and sharing that information.
And that's a lot of what we do is, and this is pretty much the reason for this forum for us, is to educate, is to bring an array of different fields where we can share that knowledge that each of us bring to that individual that has no idea of how to start, how to do this, and how easy it can be and how accessible it can be. And you know, just sharing this in hopes to give that kind of value, because we are reaching out so many, and it might not mean much to, you know, some that do listen, but then there's those others that this changes their life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because now they can do something that they didn't think was
Yeah.
reachable.
I mean, one thing that was a big takeaway for me from the very beginning once I was introduced to this is that most people don't understand the importance and the power of credit until the lack of having it is keeping them from doing something they want to do or something that they need to do. So to be in a position where people can be more proactive and thinking about their future and gaining the knowledge in advance, or if they've suffered from that hardship and they've had that limitation, they can take some steps to design where they end up in their life. So I'm all for that. I think that, the application of knowledge is power.
So saying that, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
babe.
I'm sorry. So you guys not only work with people how to establish credit, you also repair credit. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that's what I was gonna ask Cindy. Maybe you can tell us what exactly is the name of the company, just so we know exactly what we're talking about.
Correct. It's called UCES. It stands for United Credit Education Services. And basically, we help not only restore credit, but we have measures in place where that allow folks to build their credit as well as protect the work that they've accomplished to better their score, and also protect their assets. A lot of folks will go to lawyers, other companies and fix their credit, and yeah, they may have some success, but what measures are they taking to protect that success? What measures are they taking to make sure their family can still benefit from their work, their hard work, and their power in their credit once they're gone or once they're not able to make certain decisions? So we give folks the opportunity to protect all of that under one particular
I'm glad
program.
you said that, because one of the things, and I want you guys to get into it further, because you know more about this than I. But one of the things that we come across a lot is that there are folks out there. There's so many credit repair folks, right? We hear it all the time. And one of the reasons why I wanted you guys here is because what we do, we come across people needing this service, but there's such so much of it going on that you almost feel like, who do you trust?
Yeah.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
do you send your people to? So of course I wanted to give my folks someone that I trust, that I know that is responsible, ethical, and hardworking. But my point that I'm trying to make is, one of the things that I hear the most from clients that have come from credit repair is that they will say, well, I was with this company and they fixed my credit and it was good for a couple of months, but now everything's back.
Right.
So is that what you're referring to, Cindy? The fact that you're protecting?
That, and as well as protecting their identity. Our program doesn't only focus on credit restoration, but we focus on protecting their identity. I don't want to get too into it because I know that want to kind of want Myra to go over this part, but our program also offers a living will, trust, and power of attorney, as well as credit monitoring, as well as a debt calculator, a budget tool. These are all things that are included in our program that are going to help our clients, your clients, not only achieve that level of success with their score that they're looking for, but maintain it as well. Because like you said, a lot of folks will go somewhere, they'll get it fixed, then they'll say in a few months, oh, this came back on. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971. We're going to make sure that those items that are erroneous, that are negative, that are inaccurate, stay off your credit report and make sure that you manage it properly.
And to add to that too, see, I was first introduced to this when I needed the help myself. So our program is actually referral only. And a referral, and as you know, even in your line of business, a referral is the biggest compliment.
Right.
What a referral means is that I trust you with someone that I'm going to send because I know you're going to do the right thing. You're going to treat them right. You'll treat them either as well as you would me or even better. At least that's how I see it. So in my case, my confidence in what we offer is through the roof because I was actually a product of the product. So back in January 2017, I had, as you know, with history, just worked and I had never financed a car in my name. I always bought my vehicles cash outright. But I was feeling some type of way. It was the beginning of the new year, and I looked at what I was making, and I was confident that I could afford a couple of $100s towards a vehicle purchase. But I was clueless about my credit. I didn't know what my score was or what was affecting me, so I went ahead and I went to the dealership, and I got the embarrassing no. It felt awful. My score was in the low 500s, and I was like, well, what can you do for me? I have the money. What do you mean? I don't understand. And they said, well, you can either get a cosigner, or if you come up with a large enough down payment, maybe we could get you a used auto loan. And I was like, why would I take full coverage insurance, high interest rates, and a monthly payment on a vehicle that's used? Let me just fix my car, which is what I did. So a great friend of mine that we've been friends, he's like a brother to me now, Xavier Marrero, he said, I have a program that can help you. And at that point, I felt like I had already lost, so I kind of didn't have anything else to lose. Plus the fact that it was a personal referral, that I could associate what I needed with someone that I knew. I was like, all right, what's the worst that could happen, really? And I took that leap of faith. I stepped forward into the program, and within my first 45 days, the process that is used was able to get me 15 negative items deleted off of my credit report. And I was blown away by the process. It was very transparent. I came in with no skill set as far as credit. I was illiterate in that field, but through the program, I was able to learn about it. I was able to understand what was affecting my score, and I was able to see how real and true the problem can be, even for someone who's not necessarily being irresponsible financially. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but in my case, the majority of those items were actually a direct result of my student loans. Right. You see, all through growing up, I had gone to college in New York. And when I moved to Tampa, getting a job in healthcare, I understood that my professional advances were going to be related to my level of education. So I went back to school, and none of my years of formal education taught me about credit or personal finance. I had to learn the hard way. So by way of the program, within just following the process, I'd say approximately 6 months in total, and 3 sets of dispute letters that the program offered for me, I was able to increase my score just past 700s. And when my car that was used, that I had fixed, broke down the second time, thanks to this program, I was able to get dropped off at a dealership. Not only was I approved for my auto loan, it was zero money out of pocket. I remember driving off the lot that day.
Wow. Is it the same guy?
That's how I felt.
What about now, sucker?
Do you go back like what's the movie Pretty Woman? Remember when she goes, they don't want to take care of her, and then she goes back with all the bags?
Yeah.
Listen, but that's how I felt, and it was amazing. I remember even my daughters were celebrating, yay, mommy got her car. And, it was a bit emotional in a good way. I love emotions in a positive way. I was excited, and I thought about how many other people deserve this, don't know who to go to, like you said, don't know who they can trust.
The lack of knowledge.
Also want the results because, we have so many people now that say, well, I've even had the stories of I was paying so and so much, or I paid this much, and
we've gotten those too.
And I don't know what happened. I call them, they don't answer.
Thousands of dollars.
Or there's no change. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the dark and I'm clueless. And as Cindy was explaining, our process is extremely transparent. Mm-hmm. So most of the referrals I've gotten through the program are because of satisfied clients. Right. So again, for me, I think about all the time someone has reached back out to help me, and for us to be in a position now and help others onward, it's just, it's a blessing. They say what you do in the life of others, God will do for you and yours.
Yes.
Right.
And I've truly been able to live that out with this opportunity.
Well, I tell you this, the word education kind of sticks out with the name of the company that you guys work for, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a testament to they really taught you how to, work with credit so much that you're now representing the company. Mm-hmm. So the key word in that, your name of the company, United Credit Education Services, the education part is the true part of it. They really teach you guys or teach the clients what is credit, how to repair credit, how to maintain credit. And then, Cindy was saying with all the services that you guys provided, it's not only credit, but the key word is education, and I like that. And you guys are living testament towards it.
Yeah,
that's
because
awesome.
that's the bottom line, is that it's not something that anybody can call, dispute, remove for a couple of months, if you're lucky. But it's the maintaining that it's where I think people lack the knowledge on how to achieve that.
Right.
And there's a lot of companies out there that are just more for the money, charging, doing that. What's that famous line of yours, babe? Everything in the world has become, it's all about
Instant gratification.
instant gratification.
I want it and I want it now.
That's
Yes.
right, yeah.
And they don't realize that it takes a little bit more than that. It takes more than
Right.
just a phone call. It takes you need to understand it so you can maintain it. And that's where the value comes.
Right, absolutely. Because again, it's more than just putting a Band-Aid on the injury.
Exactly.
We focus on
good
the-
way to say it.
So we focus on the financial literacy aspect of it too, because we want our clients to be so happy that of course they're going to refer back their loved ones. And that's really what ends up happening throughout the continual annual sales growth in the company. There are some numbers really with our growth that reflect that. We've had pretty much about 100% annual sales growth every year since the inception of the company.
Amazing.
The company itself is also debt free. So it's, able to speak about something it has been able to implement throughout all the years. The same two key executives run the company, which also in corporate America, that speaks for stability. Because
Correct.
we have so many turnover, we hear so many stories about turnover because something went wrong.
Yeah.
Either the vision changed or perhaps there was a disconnect or something, maybe not
Well prepared.
Right, not no preparation or just a change in where they're going. So the company has been able to not only prove to myself, but then by way of introduction with others. And again, I extended this invite to Cindy. She's my family. And I have immediate family as well that I have no reservations whatsoever to recommend what I've been able to use, to share this onward, to introduce them to it, because I've been able to witness what it's been able to do for us.
Yeah. And you mentioned
amazing.
the education part. One of the things that really drew me to this particular company is that not only are we educating the adults on the matters of credit and finance, but we're also going back to the schools and we're reaching back out to the community and teaching kids anywhere from 8 to 18
Oh my God.
matters
I
of
love
finance
that.
and credit, so that we break those generational curses. Because just like Myra said, we never learned credit and
That's
finance
right, we
in
don't.
school.
I love.
Okay,
Oh my
we
God!
really-
You just gave me goosebumps because the whole time Myra's talking and she's saying that, and I'm thinking, where's the disconnect? This doesn't seem like something so hard to figure out, and it's definitely not hard to fix.
No.
So why is it that it's not happening? And you're 100% correct. We should be educating our children. There is nothing in place in junior high or high school to get these kids prepared where they don't find themselves where we've found ourselves
That's right.
and now
Yeah.
have to figure this out on our own.
We
Yeah, well,
had to
there's
find out the hard
definitely not enough. Sorry, Cindy. There's definitely not enough of that happening. But what I can tell you, just as Cindy said, we have a great deal of pride in that our company is actually fully funding the Youth Financial Literacy Program, and that's what it does.
Yeah.
And every
I'm a
single
fan.
year, and every single year we give back in college scholarships. And as far as the reflection on the growth of our company and what we've been able to do, it's fully funded by the active customers. So again, numbers don't necessarily lie. So in 2016, there was a total of $100,000 given in college scholarships. Just this past February, 2019, we gave away a total of $350,000 worth in college scholarships. So yeah,
Love that.
That's
we're
right.
Love
super
that.
proud of it.
Love
But
that.
again, the numbers don't lie. That's a direct reflection on how much we've grown.
I am
Doing just
so
that,
so
And the link is available to non-customers as well. So we can definitely be sure we have that up on your site too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
people can access that resource.
I was
and
just
the
gonna
information.
ask. That's
Absolutely.
something that I would love to be part of.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
be.
It can accept donations as well, but
Yeah.
you can definitely plug your schools in or your community advocates to just point them in the right direction. Sometimes it's a little hard to really fathom. People might hear about it and be like, that kind of sounds too good to be true, but it really is. So there really is no hidden agenda. There's no obligation that's separate from actually becoming a client. But again, like I said, I really believe that, as the world turns, it's because of everyone's hands contributing onward. And Lord knows I've been in positions where people have thought to help me. So I'm really big on being able to help.
Well, you do
Love
believe
it.
in it because you actually lived through it.
Right.
So tell us, what is your position with the company now? Because I know I see you
Yeah.
traveling everywhere.
Yeah, well, right now I'm a regional sales director with the company. So that's
Okay.
the fourth title advance right now with the company. What that represents, in short, is that my organization is generating minimum of $25,000 in sales volume every 30 days. I still get to reap all the benefits of the program as well. So you reach a point where you're not necessarily needing to have your credit restored, but you do get identity theft protection and credit monitoring. So I don't fall victim of identity theft. I don't know if you knew this, every 2 seconds there's a new victim. And the state of Florida is #1 in the nation, for instance.
Well, I had heard that.
Yeah.
We've had
We
heard
just had
that.
our credit card. Someone tried to buy something on
I mean, and
Verizon for
this-
$1,100.
No, and I'm
wow.
talking about this was like a week and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
A week and a half ago. And thank God that we have things to
Yes.
protect us,
Yeah.
because Louis immediately got a call on our behalf and is asking that you make this, is this your purchase? We're home having dinner. And we're like, no. So, of course, that was
Unless you
that
learn how
was
to clone
taking-
yourself.
Huh?
Unless you learn how to clone yourself.
Not
You're
yet.
not telling us.
Not yet.
I do have a twin.
Please let us know.
My twin, but he's a movie star. The Rock, he's a movie star. That's my twin.
That's
Dwayne
So-
Johnson. My whole past, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Listen.
Edit that part.
Listen. I don't think as a great and strong woman that I feel I am, I do not think I can handle 2 of Louis.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll pass on the cloning. Let's just skip that part.
Yeah.
Well,
One of
we
you
can
is
always try.
plenty.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I want you just the way you are, but I cannot take 2.
See, she got her brownie points back.
I don't know. I don't know if I should take that as a.
We can keep the hall pass part.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But,
So
yeah.
let's get back to business.
Yes,
I actually
yes.
want to know a little bit.
I digress.
I'm going to, as always, we have questions that we want to get out to you guys. Make sure that our viewers are covered in every area. So with that said, I'm kind of gonna clump a couple of these questions together. I want to know exactly. You can bounce from each other if you like. What's the process? Like, if you can just give it to us in short bullet points. If I refer a client, what's the process in the restoration of credit, and how what's the time frame? I guess that can change also from one client to another. And lastly, how involved is the client in this process?
Okay. Well, when a client first signs up with us, they get an email, a welcome email, as well as a packet. What we do is once they sign up and activate the services, we have lawyers on staff at our corporate office that will do a full and detailed analysis of their credit report. They'll pull anything and everything that's on their report, and they will draw up their first set of dispute letters. They're going to send those dispute letters over to the client, who is going to sign them, put them in an envelope with a copy of their photo ID and social security card, and send them out to all 3 credit bureaus.
And this is done by, because this is interesting to me. You just said that these letters are being generated by actual attorneys.
Yes, correct.
Which that's very, very important. Not
Absolutely.
everyone has that.
Right.
Correct.
So this is vital to me because this is legit.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Our lawyers are experts in what they do. They've been doing this with the company for 15 years, so they've been very successful. They draw up the letters in legal terminology so that it's written in a way that the credit bureaus have no choice but to
Comply.
Comply, absolutely.
So I'm sorry. I don't want to scare people away because when you hear attorneys,
Right.
Yeah.
the big dollar signs comes
Yeah.
in. That must be expensive.
Yeah, no.
Well, it is a
So-
huge value.
Yes.
And just to add a little more to what Cindy was explaining, the reason we have that advantage with the attorneys doing this part is because that legal language will get those results that are long lasting.
Right.
So that's also the difference between when I've had those reports for individuals that say, yeah, I paid so much, and then everything came off, my score jumped, and then a few months later it came back. And then when I reconsulted the people that helped me, they said, well, you have to pay another X amount of dollars, and it's usually a large amount of some 500, 1,000. I've heard different rates.
I've heard this too. So this is
And
not how you guys do it.
No. In fact,
Explain.
Right. So through that legal process, there's also a great deal of transparency because, as Cindy explained, where they get the welcome email, every client is going to have their own portal. So every client will actually have an online portal where they're seeing where they are when they start and their progress throughout the process. And then this online portal is where the credit attorneys will be able to view all the items with all three bureaus to get those letters drafted for them. Now, the reason we have the client actually sign the letter and mail in their ID and their social is so that they are participating, because if you have someone else represent you, or if you have a third party, or if you try to dispute things online, the credit bureaus can actually consider those frivolous inquiries and completely disregard them. They could ignore it, or they could just, not have any action taken, depending on the language that's used.
Correct.
I wanted to ask, but if it's not important, I was gonna ask: is there some kind of legality where the client does have to sign? Because I know a lot of companies, that's how they do it. They insist on the client signing.
Yeah, well, they definitely the idea of the client signing the letters themselves is so that it's legally coming from them. Because you see, like Myra said, some folks will go to other places, and other places will draw up the letters and just send them directly to the creditors. But that can be considered frivolous because it's not coming directly from the client. When they, excuse me, because the lawyers are drawing up the letters in the legal terminology, it's already set. All to include the client as a part of the process. They send the letters to the client so we can sign it and send it out. And that way, it's legally our words going to the creditors.
And I'm assuming that it's more like I wouldn't say contractual, but it is, I think, now binding the credit bureau.
That's, yes.
More
binding.
The client.
That's the
it's
binding.
And the other thing, too, is that now, because the letters themselves, those inquiries are coming from the client when they mail them into the bureaus, now the bureaus are providing the reply to the client, too. So that does it causes two things. Number one, it causes the client to be aware for when these updates come through. But, we understand that if people were so comfortable with doing credit restoration, they would do it on their own. And legally, we could. But, you could also represent yourself in a court of law, but you're going to consult with the experts. And in this process, the responses are going to be received by the client at their home address, but the client submit those to our document specialist team throughout the process. And the reason they do that is because, I've seen credit reports before. Some of my clients come to me to the point of saying, Myra, look, I got my correspondence. Can you help me or tell me what do I do next? And I'm big on relationships, so I like to be as involved as my clients want me to be involved. I wouldn't have to see any of their personal documents, but when I've had a client genuinely say, please help me through the process, I will. So when they get this correspondence, a lot of the terms and language is a little foreign. It's unfamiliar, and they're like, what is this? What does it mean? So our credit attorneys do another detailed analysis of all the responses. And then on the client portal, the client is actually able to see what was different, what's changed, what's in dispute, what's still in process, what came off, those types of things.
Is the company? I know you both are bilingual, fluently. Is the company?
The company offers support for clients who speak in Spanish. But I will tell you, that's a really good point, especially us being in Florida. Mm-hmm. There are less than 40,000 individuals such as Cindy and I that do this for the entire nation. So that in itself is not really that large of a number. So we get to service clients throughout the entire nation, and Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Alaska, Hawaii, all that you can think of. But right now, to add to that, out of those whole entire possible 40,000, there's only about 2,500 that speak Spanish the way we do. Mm-hmm. So there's a great deal of expansion, that we're aiming for. I know myself personally, I'm one of the highly involved agents, I guess I would say. I do webinars in Spanish too, and I'm really wanting to connect into that and tap into that market so that we can help more people. But as far as the clients themselves, they do have the ability to switch the language. Our customer support has client services in Spanish as well. And then, as for myself, I have no limit across state lines. I can work with anyone. And I actually take great pride in being able to help and give back to our Latin community, because we need more of that.
We need it.
Our parents teach us, work really, really hard.
Yeah.
Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, be responsible, all those great, wonderful things and core values that are priceless. But we should be stepping it up financially too.
Absolutely. And I think a lot has to do with, again, going back to the lack of education. Mm-hmm. It boils down to that. I think, and it's exactly what you said. our Latin community has the means. We're hardworking people. We are going places.
Yeah.
But we never took this in account early on. This was not something that we were taught early on. Maybe because of our parents and their background. Maybe it wasn't needed back then, or where they came from, being that a lot of us are immigrants. I mean, I know everyone at this table, we're American citizens, but we get it.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's, amazing. Not only are you guys educating the young, but also the fact that you can provide the service in the way that it's needed to our Latin community.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Now-
one other quick thing about
Okay.
that is they say this, and I've loved this saying ever since I heard it. I'm not even sure where I heard it from, but it says, don't give your children the things you didn't have. Teach your kids the things that you didn't know. So now they have access to, the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
thank you.
I want to write that down.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you touched on this opportunity. You're expanding.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that. What does it take to be in your shoes, to help the community, especially if you're Spanish? You're looking for, I'm sure you're looking for bilingual,
Yes.
English or Spanish, regardless, but the opportunities that are available to do what you guys do.
Well,
Touch on
Cindy,
that.
what's your take on it?
Well,
I feel like
to be honest, the first and foremost, you want to have a serving heart. Okay, you want to have a heart to help. Okay, because that's the number one thing that we're here to do.
That's the
We're here to
prerequisite.
serve. That's the prerequisite. You gotta want to help, because if you're not into helping people win, then you're not gonna find success in this. There is really a true need. They say, who in America needs credit? Everybody. The statistic is over 80% of Americans have less than perfect credit. So it's there. The market is there. The question is, do you really want to do this? Are you really a servant leader? Do you really want to help the people and make a change and make an impact? Because what I truly believe what we have is a movement,
Right.
and why not be a part of it, And
I think you guys are like right where you need to be, both of you. And I know, this is gonna sound, cliche or corny, whatever. But the truth is, I know you guys personally. I know you both. I know you since children.
Yeah.
I don't want to say most know my age. I know your families. I know your parents. I know your backgrounds, and I can honestly say you two are so in so many ways different, but in the one thing that both of you are the same, and I sincerely say this, is that you're so genuine. You've always been, both of you, always have been the most genuine individuals.
Thank you.
And not only that, I've always seen this kindness about you guys, and this is now showing in your careers, in the business that you want to carry. But I'm talking about even in our own little close circles.
Yeah.
This is me just speaking from my heart, and I am so incredibly happy, proud,
Thank you.
Proud.
Thank you so much.
because I know you guys.
I love you for that.
Proud
Love
that your family, but also the fact that you are where you at, because this is exactly what this needs, is that genuine, good feeling, kindness, want to help people, because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
that
so,
means
so
a
much
lot,
for that.
definitely. It
So,
does.
to add to with what Cindy was explaining, as far as what it would take to do what we have, there's no specific prerequisite besides the decision that you see that you would want to put yourself in a position to help others, because the way it works is you help enough other people achieve what they want, you in turn will achieve your goal. And when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. We get caught up in what we're doing, we're so excited about it. It's like, oh, the day just came and went. But for anyone that would really be seriously interested in partnering up or seeing this business opportunity, or looking about wanting to generate some additional income, because of course there is income attached to this. If you have a smartphone, the internet, or a laptop or a personal computer, this is available for anyone that might already be doing something on a full-time basis and highly successful at it. But if you see value in offering a solution to a problem that affects millions of Americans, you can become a referral source. The company provides us with the professional access that we'll need. We get a professional website. We're able to offer the program. And when we enroll our clients, we have an entire corporate office that gives us all the support. See, people come into this at different points in their life. Some of them have excellent credit, but just see the importance and the value of the program. Other people, such as myself, become a product of the product and then decide they as well want to offer this onward. Or from the beginning, you can see that your need is so serious that you also want to help others. So again, you can come in at any point as far as wanting to share this, but we have all the tools and a system in place, including all the corporate office staff, that if, let's say I'm brand new and I have no knowledge of any of this and I have a brand new client that comes to me and they need this help, I literally can three-way call in client services or agent support and have an expert address any of those questions and concerns. And then of course there's mentorship. There's on-the-job training, if you will. There's, as we work together, we grow together. Cindy said it best. We have a phenomenal team. We have a huge movement, big, huge recognition that I always give to the support and the leaders I've had. Many times in various professions, you don't see that the people who have hit high levels of success come back and literally show you step by step what it was that you did. But in our industry and what we do, that's what happens. So when an individual says, look, I'm open to making some additional income, I would like to refer this solution onto others who have decided they want to fix their credit. How does it work? We have, of course, training. It's either live, in person. We have events. We have webinars. We're taking full advantage of the technology that's available to us. So I've had individuals as far as California come on board. Yeah, so our team is across the entire nation, in fact. So there's no limit in that sense.
I want to make sure that we do plug in the company correctly. So, just in short, if a client, this is my viewers, anyone listening, this is when you grab a pen and a pad.
Right.
How do they reach you? What's the best way? Is there a website? Is there, as a client, if they want to just go straight and even just ask questions, how would they go about that?
Sure. Well, for the products and services, they'd want to go to ucespp.net /C Navarez. That's N as in Nancy, E, V as in Victor, AREZ. And that's going to lead them directly to the products and services. They'll take a look at what comes in the program, the cost, and they can sign up right then and there.
And for those non-millennials or our younger or let's say it the other way, our older folks that might not want to or don't have, I can't imagine no one having access to the internet anymore.
Right.
They don't trust.
Right. That is a thing. That is a thing.
That is for sure.
That might want to reach you by phone.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It's area code 813-970-9739.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously, Sydney and I do work hand in hand.
Yes.
We work side by side together. I've been super proud of her too, because a lot of times you find out where your relationship stands with people when it comes to business and money. Just to be quite frank and short. No shade for sure. But, Cindy really took my word on for the value of this and decided to be a part of this with me. So I couldn't be more proud of her and more excited to be doing this.
But let me tell you something.
you.
I know Myra. I cannot imagine how much fun it has to be working with someone like Cindy. Because we know Cindy. And there is not one person that I think might know Cindy that don't say, I love to be in Cindy's presence. Because you are fun. You have the best person. You know this girl. You have the best personality.
I think I'm the color of your shirt. I'm not even red.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen you upset.
Aww.
I don't think I've ever seen you upset. I think you always
You wouldn't
shining.
recognize me. I turned green.
The hope. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But no, I'm sure that it's a lot of fun working together. I have no doubt of that.
And then we do as well, Cindy, you probably want to share your link, because if there's any other individuals that are hearing what we offer, that URL that she shared, the ucespp.net website, that one is specifically for anyone that needs to benefit from the program. There's even a short, quick 7-minute video or so that does an overview of what is included in the program. Awesome. It details everything. A very professional, smooth site, which we didn't have to design or create. That was just part of when we did decide to become affiliates. That's available, but also the MyFES site. So if there's anyone that might be listening in and just a little more curious about how we've been able to generate income with this. And again, when I was first introduced to this program, I saw the benefits as a client. I wasn't looking for an income opportunity. However silly that may sound, I've never met anybody that doesn't want to make more money. But in my case, I felt like I was okay. I just really found myself in a situation that I wanted to resolve. But when I did decide to become an affiliate, I started sharing this on a less than part-time basis, working 40 to 60 hours in the clinic anyway. As a mom, head of my household, doing all those things, and sharing it on a less than part-time basis actually brought me to the third level in the company. And at that point, I did that in 6 months. And at that point, I was literally duplicating the same income that took me 15 years working 40 to 60 hours in a healthcare career.
Wow.
So that's the power behind having this access.
It is a movement.
Yep, you are in business for yourself. You are part of our team and the movement, of course, but you're not by yourself, as well as for people who might be new to it, you're actually stepping into the role of being your own boss. Mm-hmm. So right now, my only boss is my schedule. Whatever I committed my time to doing, that's pretty much it. And a lot of people like and enjoy that freedom. So somebody could be thrilled with what they do full time, but like they say, pay to or work to survive. Do your 9 to 5 to survive and pay bills, but anything after 5 p.m. should be to fund your dreams and your goals and your vision. And I mean, if the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, I think we're pretty much better on our way doing something else and opening up that door than just.
Right. I agree 100%.
We're working a lot on our vision because we work how many hours a day?
I can imagine.
7
we work
days
2
a
hours a week. I mean, two jobs. Our job and then our fun job.
The other job.
So for the business, then it would be anyone again looking for the income. It would be myfes.com/C Navarez.
Yep.
What is it?
CNEVAREZ.
Yes.
But we'll have the links on our website.
Yeah, and that's true. I forgot we do have we will post everything up there. AJ. AJ.
Hey.
He
just
takes
to
care of
really
all that
just
stuff.
highlight how it is separate, because there can be those individuals that just want to repair their credit. They don't have to do any of the income involving opportunity tasks or anything. That's very separate. So we like to just be clear on that too, because some people,
Absolutely.
like I said, might have excellent credit, but they want to go ahead and make some more money, and we can help them with that.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
Yes.
right.
Awesome stuff. This is great stuff.
Do you have anything that you don't want to leave out, or should we
no.
conclude?
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much tapped everything.
Myra doesn't know, but I'm gonna put her on the spot.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, but I'm going to. Before I do that, I'm just gonna make her like sweat a little. Before I do that, I do want to ask you guys 3 tips that you want to leave our viewers with each, or like my good friend Linda Guzman, shout out to Linda, would say 3 nuggets that you might want to leave our viewers with.
Okay. Well, as far as credit tips, basically, 30% of your credit score is based on your usage. So what you want to do when it comes to credit cards and things like that, you want to make sure, let's say you have a credit card, just got a brand new credit card, limit of $1,000. You want to keep that usage at under 30%. Okay, that is key.
We hear that all the time.
Because, yeah, that is very key, because what's going to happen is you're not going to look like you really needed those $1,000 and you're desperate to use it, and it's going to take you forever to pay it back. You're going to look a lot more responsible to the creditors by using less, about $300 worth or under, so that you keep that low balance, you pay it off on time, and you show responsibility with that particular card and that line of credit. So that's one tip I would suggest. Myra, you want to take on another?
Yeah, another thing I think people look at when it comes to on-time payments, your payment history makes up 35% of how your score is calculated. Mistakenly, some people may think if they're struggling that month, you know what, it's just a whatever late fee, I'll just take the hit and charge it to the game and keep it moving. But what they don't realize is it's so much more than just that late fee. So for anyone listening to this, understand that if you're having any financial hardships, or if something came up and something changed financially for you, make sure you're communicating that to whoever you owe that payment to, just so that you're able to really try to comply with your payments. So do whatever it takes to make at minimum the minimum payment, but understand as well, just by making that minimum payment, you're not really alleviating the debt, you're just fulfilling that obligation. But within a 24-month period, that time is crucial when it comes to calculating your score. So we've even heard reports that if you're late on 2 or more payments within a 24-month time frame, it could hit your credit almost as significantly as a bankruptcy could. So this is really, really serious. And when you help people understand the seriousness behind it, then they take more consciousness with the decisions they make. Again, people might say, oh, it'll go away. It's just one late payment. It's not a big deal. Next month I'll catch up and it's good. But truly, it really does make a significant impact.
Yep. We see it all the time, right, babe? We pull credit. That's part of our job, and we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And know what your credit score is, okay? Do your homework, Last tip, do your homework. If you don't know what it is, and if you don't know where you're standing right now, don't walk into a store. Don't walk into JCPenney and fall for that 15% off if you sign for this credit card, because if you get denied.
I'm constantly telling my clients this. Constantly. Don't fall for it, guys.
Know your score, know your health, and if it's not healthy, fix it before you walk into anywhere else and try to make a major purchase, because you're only going to get shot down. It's
And
hurt.
if you do walk into a
no.
place and you feel embarrassed, follow the Myra Way. Call you guys,
That's right.
get involved,
That's
get into this program, and
Do what you gotta do.
That's it.
right.
end
That's
up a
right.
regional sales.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? And thank you. But, I did also, to add to that, see, a lot of times people don't realize as well, they think that if they've paid off a balance on a line of credit, that it's okay to close it. So I want to encourage viewers to keep those lines of credit open. You want to consider it like a report card. So you want to have that long-standing history, because if you have 2 lines of credit, one is 10 years old and then one is a brand new credit card, I mean, your average is going to be between those 2 cards. So you want to have the longer standing period of time as possible. And
Bring them to zero balance, but never close them.
Right, right. Or get used to a healthy utilization, like Cindy was speaking on. Let's say, for example, if you know that a recurring bill in your home, like your cell phone, your water, or your light bill, if you know that they are less than 30% of your available line of credit, if for someone that's wanting to proactively reflect something positive on their credit, set it up for auto pay with your credit card, because you're going to pay your water bill, you're going to pay your light bill, you're going to pay your cell phone. And that way you have healthy usage. You're not just using it and leaving that line of credit as you use money, but you want to get into the habit of reflecting positive and healthy usage.
Because the whole idea is, the funny thing is that in this country, for you to have credit, you have to owe money.
Yeah.
Right. But the key is to owe money and be able to show that you can pay.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we tell our clients, just trying to help them, the process, the movement. Yeah. That's the new word. Trying to help the movement.
Love it.
Yes. One of the things that I say, very similar to that, I said, listen, if you get a card, just use that card just for gas.
Right.
Yeah. But make sure that at the end of the month, you're going to pay that. You're going to pay that card.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone has to buy gas. So just buy for gas or just buy for food. But at the end of the month, you pay that card. And that's what really creates that score to start going our way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Awesome, great stuff. So we got 4 tips out of you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Throw a little bonus in there for
Actually, I wanted to. I said I was gonna put Myra on the spot. Now I'm kind of feeling bad, but I have to do it now.
Do
It's
it.
okay. I have to do it. I have to do it. I know this. Maybe most people. I know Cindy knows this. Myra knows this, and probably Louis knows this. But someone in this short little panel here has an amazing voice.
Oh, snap.
And
DJ, cue up the music.
Somehow,
Drop the beat.
for some reason, this has become kind of a little trend in our show, right? So how can I not take advantage? And I'm not going to make it very, very uncomfortable. It can be a, 2-line chorus. Of your choosing. I just want to hear the pipes just a little.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Okay, yeah, no pressure, right? Definitely,
No pressure.
It's always a bonus,
definitely
though.
not, expecting that with credit for sure. That's for sure.
You see, I make it interesting.
That was a good
That's
one,
sweet.
though.
Wasn't it?
Let me see what I can get away with at this time of the day on coffee. Let's see.
Just
Well, my favorite, one of my favorite artists is Alicia Keys. Absolutely love
One of my favorites.
her.
Yes.
Love her. I think that she sings from her soul. So if I
agree
could,
with that.
kind of make fun of myself right now, I guess it would have to be a go-to of hers. But let me see. I'll try.
Go for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong anywhere. And it's gonna take so long for me to get somewhere. Sometimes I feel so heavy-hearted, and I can't explain why I'm so guarded. But that's a lonely road to travel, and a heavy load to bear. And it's a long, long way to heaven, but I gotta get there. Can you send an angel? Can you send me an angel to guide me?
My goodness. I got a lot more than I was expecting, but thank you, Myra. I am
feel
so
refreshed.
happy.
Yeah, right?
Listen, I am so happy that I
Thank you.
put you on the spot. And you did phenomenal. Did not
Yes.
disappoint
Yes.
this girl. Thank you, baby. I really appreciate that you allowed me to do that. That was completely impromptu. And
My
I am
toes
so
are like this right now.
happy.
They're so curled right now.
Amazing,
I
amazing.
need a cigarette. I don't
Oh
smoke,
my
but I need a cigarette.
Always preaching, Myra. I love you
Yes.
so,
Thank
so
you.
much.
I
You're
love
such an
you too.
inspiration. And Cindy, you know how
Thank
I
you
feel
so
about you,
much.
girl. You my girl. You will always be life.
Likewise.
Listen, this girl was the life of my party when we were met.
Oh my
Remember
God,
that?
yes, your
Yeah.
wedding.
Our wedding. Cindy, like she was like the life of that party. Like I can't say enough. I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna just start rambling.
Thank you.
Love you,
Love you
guys.
too.
Love,
Love you
what
too.
you're
Of course.
doing.
Thank you so much.
Wish you so much success. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
blessing
much.
us.
Yes.
Likewise.
You guys have no
Yes.
idea. These girls came all the way from Tampa to come and entertain
Yes.
us. So
They shared so much with us.
Thank
The
you.
I
Youth
am
for
blessed.
Literacy program, that's amazing. The work opportunity, the mentorship that you guys provide, amazing. The 7-minute video link,
Yes.
gotta listen to that, gotta watch it. You guys are gonna provide that as well. And then the
The why.
FEC or FES, I'm sorry, website.
UCES website is for the products and
UCES.
services.
Okay, website. You're gonna
And-
provide that as well.
Correct.
One more time, tell us how to contact you.
All right, the website again is UCES, I'm sorry, excuse me, yes, UCESPP.net/C Navarez. For anyone who's interested in the business opportunity and helping others, it'll be myfes.net/C Navarez. And our phone number is 813-970-9739.
thank you,
Yes,
thank
so
you
definitely
guys.
call or
Love you,
text,
ladies.
Reach out.
Yes.
We're here to
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you
you'll
so
either
much.
get
I love you
myself
too.
or you'll
Thank
get
you so
Myra as well,
much.
because sometimes.
And guys, you know how to reach Louis and I.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
if there's anything that you heard or are interested in, and for whatever reason, just rather reach us, I can share anything and everything that you need to get back to these young, beautiful
right.
ladies.
Thank you.
You guys have our Facebook page. We have our YouTube channel, the Home Buy Network YouTube channel. We have Instagram,
We
all
have
the
it all.
socials.
We're covered.
Yeah.
We're covered.
Ladies,
Across the
thank you
board.
so much.
This
Thank
was a
you, guys.
This was
great.
an honor.
I love this
Thank you so
episode.
much.
Guys,
This
thank
was
you.
I think, one of the amazing episodes that we learned. We got 4 tips. Be
We got so
responsible.
much.
Payment history, know your score, and of course, do not close accounts. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your voice.
Thank
You're
you.
next.
She's my karaoke
The next-
partner.
the
Trust
next-
and believe. She's
next
right
episode.
There with me.
You're
I
gonna
tell you
sing
this,
for us
though.
next
Yes, she
lending in the
will.
year?
Next,
Yes,
lending
she
in the year.
will.
But I tell you this, you did say PP.
I did.
Love
It got
Stay
me,
tuned,
guys.
guys.
It was a setup. I knew it.
Stay tuned, guys, for our next episode for Lending an Ear. And this will conclude this episode, number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
In the history
Again,
Awesome.
my beautiful ladies, I love you dearly.
so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for having us. It's
so
been an
much for
absolute
having us
pleasure.
here.
It
has been an
has.
honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.